Welcome to another episode.
Get him good.
I think somebody had some pipe on the swing set again, didn't you?
No, maybe. This might be gone.
You the whole thing already?
Welcome to the Spindash Retro Gaming Podcast. Prepare yourself for the joy of classic gaming. Fired straight into your delicate little ear holes. Fire away.
Nick's yelling at the cat. Fluffy, down! Down, Fluffy!
I just thought, what the actual fuck? Go to hell.
Hey.
Get out here. You snorted.
I did. Losers. Oh, look at you losers.
We're recording right now.
I don't get two shits. I need to go pork chops.
I'll take them out. Go. I'll give you some pork later.
That's disgusting. That's inappropriate, Nicholas. Inappropriate.
We're going to make a triplets this weekend.
Fuck you. No, we're not.
Guys, you want triplets? Or quadruples?
Shut your dirty mouth. No.
John's face is priceless right now.
I'm not editing this. This is not getting taken out.
I don't want to eat pork anymore.
I want some Italian sausage, John.
I love when she walks in the downstairs and you're like, you want some pork? It's a casual greeting now.
Yeah. That's what marriage for.
I'll give you the meat sweats.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Nick, do you want to lead us in? Want to be the leader?
Yeah. Welcome to another, just a wishful episode of where we tried to play a game and push it back again of Metal Gear Solid. But we went
with your mic. You got to start that whole. You got to say that whole thing over again because you were fucking with your mic.
You're not gonna fucking hear it. Jesus,
they're gonna hear this. They're gonna hear this. This is what they're gonna
not.
hear.
Quit jacking off. Jesus.
I'm telling you right now.
Okay.
Right, take us in again.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I'm gonna fucking pelt you like a friggin' Irish kid.
You just pelt Irish kids. No other ethnicity.
I can just see.
It's just John. He's.
Hey, you, Sonny. What's your name? My name's Timmy O'Halloran. Get over here.
Pelt him with potatoes.
Nick is currently living in 1910.
Welcome, son of a bitch.
This podcast, Irish need not apply. They're subhuman.
John, get the fuck out of here. Welcome to another episode of Spindash. Fucking
Sláinte.
When you stop, Matt, I'll do it again.
I can't help it. I'm picturing John getting pelted. John, of course, wearing like a leprechaun costume.
Right in the Lucky Charms.
Okay, Nick, for real this time.
Focus, Nicholas.
Welcome to another episode.
Get him good.
I think somebody had some pipe on the swing set again, didn't you?
No, maybe. It might be gone.
You the whole thing already?
Oh, it's been a stressful week.
Jesus Christ. How do you forget? Like, wow. All right. Props. Daddy, why'd you eat all my fruit snacks?
No, I may
Daddy's
destroy.
passed out in a
No.
I
I did what I did at the camp, bud. I ate a whole bag of Tostinos.
Oh my Jesus!
Tomorrow's gonna be awful for you.
Oh, it is. Welcome to another episode of Spindash Retro. Fucking. It's half an hour just us fucking trying to intro into this fucking thing. Jesus Christ.
I thought one of you guys is going to fuck it up, so I just laughed.
Turn the cameras off. Oh, this is the stupidest episode we've done. We've done some dumb ones.
All right. Welcome to another episode of Spindash Retro, where three dads try to be cool, yet we absolutely fail by playing retro video games. I'm your host, Nicholas. I'm followed up by
Lucky the Leprechaun.
We don't just fail at playing video games.
Oh, we're a bunch of failures tonight. Welcome my co-host, Matt,
Howdy.
and my other fellow co-host, John.
Pogmathoin. Let's kiss my ass in Gaelic.
So you guys know how I'm doing. How are you guys doing? How you doing, John? How you doing?
I'm not doing as good as you, John.
Nope, definitely
No,
like 2 steps below. There's no pork in this household.
Aww.
Aw, doghouse.
Aww.
Any pickups? Any
Pickups. Nope. No pickups. I mean, I sold some pickups. Turned some pickups into some cash.
You made
All
a
right,
tiny
so-
little profit.
But
I
let's
made
hear
a-
about this. So we knew last time, our last episode, that
Yep.
you had a stash of some Wii stuff in a PS2 game. You were going to flip it.
Mm-hmm.
You made us guess the price.
Mm-hmm.
We got your money. So what are you going to buy? Where's that money going?
Pork.
I really actually want to put it towards a system.
All right.
I want some hardware.
Yeah.
I really want to put it towards a 3DO. But
I'm
you
gonna
guys
have
keep
to-
on giving me grief because
I'm
you
going to have to edit in some cricket noises to that one.
Yeah. Well, you guys never had one, so you don't know the joys of it.
That's fair.
So I have a nostalgia on the system itself. I mean, the only other thing I'd want for hardware right now is probably I was thinking
Dreamcast.
I was thinking a modded Game Boy Advance. Because I got a good amount of coin off it.
Yeah. I'm on board with that. I'm okay with that. It's not Dreamcast.
It's gonna sit. It'll sit there for a little bit. I mean,
until the time is right.
yeah, because the market's been jumping hard lately. I felt, especially on like portables. I feel like it's gone insane. Like I was checking my price charting, and I had a lot of stuff that jumped in price. I think a Pokemon game I had went from $25 and jumped to $45, so a $20 increase. And that was within like the last 3 months.
My advice to anyone listening is like prices are insane, things are going crazy. Right now, at this very moment, is the time that you should be buying PS3, Xbox 360, and Wii games.
Mm-hmm.
They are probably at their lowest. So if you have any interest in those systems, now is the time to buy those because that shit's taking off soon. That's my prediction. This is not financial advice. Don't invest in, dump your 401k in it. However, I'm thinking Wii is primed to go.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I never agreed with you on this. You know this, that I thought Wii was a trash of a system. But now I understand it is actually a more underrated system.
Thank you.
It has a really solid library. It really does.
Thank you.
I mean, there's a lot of crap that just overwhelms you with it, but there's a
It
lot
has
of
the
good
exact same problem that every system has when it first launches. It gets first year, it gets a bunch of shit games because everyone's trying to, address the new control system. Mostly in this case, we went to a wireless controller system with motion base. So it was like
Waggle.
So all those games that went towards like, okay, you have to do this, and do this. Then we kind of moved away with it. Like, here, put this attachment on, and you can play all the games just like you would, without having to wave it.
Yeah, I found the back half of its library kind of it petered off. You did get a lot of shovelware near the end of the Wii's life cycle where it's kind of like everyone just got tired of it. And Nintendo didn't really know what they wanted to do with the Wii U, and it kind of just dragged on. So there is some shit, but you know what? People don't hold the PS2 to the same standard they hold the Wii to. They'll sit there and they'll say, oh, the Wii is just a shovelware, home of the shovelware. And it's like, okay, fine. But I can make that same argument about PS2. I mean, most of the games on PS2 are shit. And then you have this concentration of like phenomenal games. It's the same thing with the Wii.
And honestly, I've been trying to think of actually solid PS2 games. And like you said, there's not really, I don't think, a huge library of just PS2 directly games.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
I think because most of PS2 all shared a lot of games with a lot of systems. So
I don't know. PS2's a juggernaut. I don't know if I go that far.
I mean, I'll say it did have the longest life. One of the longest lives I've seen on a console.
Yeah,
because they're still making games well into the PS3. PS3 was just a joke of a system.
Hot take.
PS3. Come on. I think PS3 is going to be like is more kind of almost like maybe the Saturn was. I'm trying to think of a console where you really. It's just like I don't think it was like a console that everyone went for initially. Like I did have one, and I played. I like the Uncharted series for the PS3.
Yep,
that is like a magnificent. And what else did I have? Little Big World, I think it's called.
Oh, Little Big Planet, yeah.
Little Big Planet. That was actually a really solid game for the PS3.
I think that generation is going to be looked at very weirdly, and I know that's outside of our purview on this show, but it's like one. You saw Western developers kind of take over and Japanese developers kind of take a nosedive because they really didn't understand what to be doing with high definition. For some reason, that jump from the PS2 era into the high def era really caused some heartburn. I mean, it's like they took a nosedive. I mean, Square is like the shining example to me. Like they're nowhere to be seen that generation. You know, you got the Final Fantasy 13. I don't know if you guys have played that, and that's a slog. I can't. I don't know. I will save my rants on Final Fantasy 13 for another day. But yeah, no, I know what you're saying. But
yeah. So, I mean, I think it's weird because I feel now that also a lot of this generation of games are kind of trying to bring back a catalog, feed off that nostalgia, and make updated consoles with the old library if they can. That's where I get mad with Nintendo that their Virtual Console was magnificent. It was great because you literally have all your games that you love, the games you loved, and pull them up. Like, I will keep my 3DS as long as I can, and I keep on trying as long as I can. I'll go into that Virtual Console store for it and buy as much as I can for it.
I guess my frustration with Nintendo is you have a model already, and that model is Steam. Like, if you just copy Steam, we're going to be okay. Like, let me buy Metroid once, and let me just carry it through for whatever. Because, I mean, you're just updating the emulator at most. The ROM file is still the same. So let me just buy access to that ROM file, and I'll have it forever.
I mean, I know, like, through the ages, you always had, through PlayStation, through other consoles, you'd have typically your disc consoles. You would have a Genesis, what do they call it? Genesis Arcade, typically. Classic Genesis Arcade, typically disc, that had multiple games on
like a compilation, yeah.
Yeah, a compilation. And it was like, why couldn't Nintendo do something like that to a point? You know,
I think they're milking it. I think
hard.
my big thing is
they're just pitching every penny that they can to get like use out of it.
I don't know. The older I get, the more I slowly kind of creep toward I like what Sega's doing. As I get old, I'm a Nintendo fanboy through and through. We've been over that. We're gonna beat that horse till it's dead and rotting. But man, I watch the way Sega's not as litigious. They don't go after people making fan games as much. They seem to embrace that community a lot more. They're just not dicks. Like I just don't get the impression that Sega is a company full of dicks the way I feel Nintendo is. I think
they embrace the gamer more.
Yeah.
So, speaking of embracing your childhood, let's embrace this week's game of the week that was supposed to be Metal Gear Solid. Yet again, we pushed off because I was transitioning into a new career path that has involved a lot of studying to undertake for what I'm about to do. So I was like, "Hey, let's do a lighter game." But let me say this. I did not actually suggest this game. Technically, I am hosting just because I played it the most and have probably more memories on it. But John was actually one who said, let's play this.
I did. I figured it would be the easiest for you since you were in a time crunch. So you could recite this with your eyes closed. And you have mentioned it no less than 12 times.
It was one of my my gems, my piece de resistance that I got for my Sega Genesis. So it's a great addition. I actually have a physical copy in case without the manual, unfortunately. And actually, it's one of my games that took the good price hike up there.
It's $7 to $12.
Actually,
I bet you're
a little bit more than
30s. I bet you're in the 30s loose.
Wow. So, John, you're saying you think $7, right?
I'm just being an asshole.
Just being a dick, John. That's just like you.
No,
nothing changed.
The fucking Irish.
Shit. Oh, Matt, don't stop. I'm gonna go in a coughing fit.
I'm gonna flinch.
No, I mean it took a good jump. I have great memories with this because I remember playing this at my friend's house a lot, and I actually borrowed it for I think I had it. I think I borrowed it and ended up keeping it because I never saw that friend again.
You were that guy?
Savage, dude.
No. My mom ended the friendship with his mom, and we just never saw each other again.
Wow. That's how I lost Mega Man Soccer.
And we lived in two different towns, so I would never see him again. But it's a game I just loved playing because it was a Disney game, and it was fun. You're Donald Duck, and you go around your adventure. You're dressed up as Indiana Jones. I really enjoyed the Indiana Jones movies at that time as part of a big thing. Also was a big fan of just the franchise in general.
Why are you dressed like Indianapolis Jones and a bumblebee?
So I just enjoy the game. I just have nothing but fond memories of this going through. So I made sure I definitely end up getting it. So I do have it now. And I always joke, I think I've been using this game as a taunt, a threat towards John for I don't know how long. And it shocked me when he said, "Yeah, we'll play this."
I wanted to punish myself a little.
John, but did you punish yourself or did you enjoy yourself?
Mixed bag.
Mixed bag? Tell me more.
It's just one of those platformers to me. I don't think I think there's one game that I played that's a platformer that I'd be like, I have nostalgia for this. Not like a, non-proprietary like Mario, Sega, Mario, Sonic, all that stuff. It was Felix the Cat. And that's my one nostalgia game that was like from early childhood that I remember playing when I was like, oh, this is cool. And I'd probably go back and play that now and be like, oh, this sucks. But, I don't know. I'm not one to wax poetic about stuff, because when I go back and do stuff now, I'm like, oh, this was kind of shitty. Like, remember the Ewok movies that I kept telling you about? I fucking love those as a kid, and they are abysmal.
They don't hold up, John.
They are so bad. They are so bad.
So I did the same kind of thing. So to derail even more, I went to go watch, and Matt, I think you're going to laugh at this one. I went to go watch my childhood favorite movie, which was Pete's Dragon.
All right.
I've tried watching it. I cannot make it through the movie now.
It's long.
It's a slog. And I watched that movie to death as a kid. Like, I think I was like 5 and 6 when I really watched 6, 7, going around there, when I watched the hell out of the movie, because I enjoyed it. The musical numbers, everything. Because it's supposed to take place in Maine, too.
Passamaquoddy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, oh, this, my state, the proudness you have of it. Can't do that. Unlike with this game, I enjoyed myself thoroughly. Now, maybe it'd be the over amount of nostalgia, but I had no problem playing this game. I thought it was fun.
So, hold on. How would you describe it? So, if someone has
action
no
platformer,
clue, and what's the goal? Like, if you're talking to a complete and utter idiot, you're talking to an Irishman on the corner about this game.
I know, or a Frenchman.
Let's leave that out of this.
I'm made of both, so it doesn't care. It's all sorts of fucked up. So it starts off. The story is that you find a map in your Uncle Scrooge's one of his rooms, and that has treasure at it. And Donald goes adventuring. He's helped by his 3 nephews who use Launchpad's airplane to fly you around.
Huey Lewis in the News?
Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Power of love.
In which you go around. You start off in Duckburg, and you'll just get to the end, and you meet one of the archaeologists. He tells you have to go to XY place. So pretty much each level, you had to find a item that will, in a sense, open up a new space into each level that you go to. Ultimately, your whole point is to find the treasure at the end of there. So you travel all over, in a sense, the world. So you go to places like Mexico. You go to Norway on a Viking ship, the South Pole, all over the world to pretty much there. You have a gun that shoots plungers, popcorn, and bubbles.
Classic Disney.
And so, and you're faced with some Disney characters within there. So you actually do get to see, Daisy, but she's a princess versus Daisy Duck. You get to see, Goofy, who just so happens to find himself randomly in this place. And he gives you an upgrade. It's just a different thing. So they do a lot of callbacks in there. Donald Duck does his, infamous, when he rages out, if he eats too many peppers and stuff like that. So exactly just like me. And you don't understand him, so he's like you when you're drunk.
Yeah.
Oh.
But let's kind of go more depth on it. Matt, what did you think of this game?
I had mixed feelings. I would say I'm similar to John because I didn't have that nostalgia with it. It's I think to me, I think the best way I could describe this thing is like there's a game on Super Nintendo, also a Disney property, also a Capcom game. Again, we can talk about Capcom doing Disney IPs versus Sega doing Disney IPs because that's something that went back to Aladdin. We've kind of been down this road before, but
yep.
I loved the Magical Quest starring Mickey, and it's one of those games that like I don't know if I could defend it as one of the top Super Nintendo games, but I own it. I like it. You know, I have nostalgia. I put it in. It's fun. It's simple. It's a simple game to pass the time, and I kind of feel like this falls into that same kind of category where this game isn't something that's gonna like blow your socks off. This isn't anything it's revolutionary. But for what it is a very pretty game. Like I honestly, all the Disney games on Genesis they all look fantastic. So the Genesis's color palette is nowhere near what the Super Nintendo can do. I think the Genesis can only run 64 colors on the screen at a time. But with those 64 colors, with the Disney games seem to, at least that like, what was it, Land of Illusion or World of Illusion with Mickey Mouse, and then this game, they do a lot with the colors they have available. It is a very colorful, the sprites are big. Like it is a good looking Genesis game.
It feels like you're playing the cartoon. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It feels like you're actually part of the cartoon, like you're kind of navigating, the adventure of each episode kind of deal.
Yeah.
And I thought that's what I enjoyed about this most, because it was very, definitely at the time, it was like, you're like, oh, this is really, really fun. Like as a kid, like you feel immersed into this world, as it were. So I thought, and one thing, as a kid, I had my daughter play this, and just because she doesn't understand the controls, but I remember as a kid, for me, I grew up with a lot of video games, that it wasn't a hard game to get a hold of, as far as, okay, I understand what each, button does. I understand the concept. I can get through this whole game. So I think even to this day, it still holds up there. It was simple, easy to play through. You kind of knew exactly what you had to do. Even if you didn't, you could still have fun because you're playing characters that you grew up with. So these are characters that you didn't need a story or a background on at all, because you already knew who Donald Duck, you already knew who, you know who Goofy is, you know who Dewey Louie, because you've seen them throughout your life.
Yep.
And I think this kind of relates, because I remember, I played this with my mom even. You have Donald as, Indiana Jones in a sense. I'm pretty sure that's right around the same time Last Crusade came out, I think, still. 89? No, I think Last Crusade.
I thought it was late 80s. I don't really know.
I can't remember that one. But it's still popular enough. I think I do remember it. It was always on.
Oh, yeah.
And like you said, Matt, looking at it now, looking at the background, I think that's where Sega does well on, is their backgrounds, their foregrounds.
Yep.
And how it moves, I think that's their key. So it makes it's very interactive there. So their background just always amazes me with what it has to offer.
You can kind of, one of the things I noticed, and you can notice this because it's in a lot of Sonic games, but I think it's because just processing wise, the Genesis is limited in some ways, but in other ways, I think it's superior to the Super Nintendo in that it can run more shit at once. It can run more sprites. So in a lot of Genesis games, you have that nice parallax scrolling that's always done in the background to give you that perception of depth.
Yes.
I know this game did a great job with that. Like it was,
your clouds, your mountains in the back. Like I see cactus. No, it's kind of funny. You see the cactus in different layers as you move. So you can clearly see, as a kid, I didn't really realize this, but each, there's I'd say there's about 4 or 5 layers, I bet, looking at this.
Yeah. I don't know how they run the parallax. Cause I don't know how they run, if that's one layer that they're doing some kind of thing or it's multiple. I'm not sure how they do it, but
one thing I think I actually do have a discrepant with this, and we'll go into levels after this, is saving. There's no saving.
Yeah, that was.
This ain't super short game, realistically. It's not it could be done. It could be in what, 2.5 hours. I think is the time on this.
Something like that. I bet a speedrunner could get it done in maybe an hour.
Yeah, if you know, because I did see you can skip some level. You can actually skip a lot of levels.
Well, that was so going back to what so you don't have the ability to save, which I would knock this thing for. But one of the ways the game I think does you some favors is they set up checkpoints. So like the game, you'll run through a level and maybe you'll get to the end and you'll find out you can't progress. You need an item. It's very almost like a Metroidvania light kind of game, and that you need this ability or this item to move on. But the game doesn't punish you and say you need to backtrack all the way back through this level and get to the other end and then go through this hub and move
Once
here.
you set your flag, you're pretty much set.
Call Huey, Dewey, Louie, and then move on to a new level and come back. So yes, you can't save, but I guess to balance that out, you have this whole checkpoint system that cuts down on the backtracking, which would have made this game almost unbearable.
Oh, yeah.
Also, like something there. So, I mean, you start off Duckburg, then going through, you end up going to, I believe, Mexico. And from Mexico, as soon as you get to the end, you get to the Mayan temple, where you actually have to then go back to Duckburg, where you just left, to get the hero key to get into that Mayan temple. So there's some unnecessary backtracking, I think. You get back to Duckburg, get the hero key, so you send Huey Dewey off. The next thing you know, you get the key, then you call them back just to go fly back there and then go through the Mayan temple. So, I mean, there's a little more like back and forth, I think unnecessary back and forth in this game.
Yeah.
But it could have been a lot worse.
It could have been a lot worse.
Had it been a Metroid game. Yeah.
Oh. Cool thing, you do have kind of a weapon system. You have the plunger gun that can keep on getting upgraded. You know, you go from yellow, which just stuns enemies and it will stick to them, and that's it, and it'll fall off. Then you get the red plunger, which does the exact same thing, but also can stick to side of the walls, where you can use to elevate yourself up. And then it upgrades one final time to a green plunger, which you can shoot at flying enemies and hold onto flying enemies and go across obstacles you wouldn't be able to go across before. Then you got like the popcorn, which is fun. You get at the very beginning. Then you got the bubble gun, which is an odd thing. It's kind of like used to clear some bricks and stuff.
Right.
But it's also the only thing that would injure some certain enemies. But then popcorn gun only injures, pretty much takes out almost all of them as well. And you have each one, you have end up kind of a boss depending on where you're going.
John, you've been awful quiet. What would it take to make this game like to bring it up to what you would expect? Because I know you were kind of, my opinion of this game kind of improved as time went on. It never really went, it's not going to be I'm not going to shout this game from the rooftops, but I know when I talked to you about this, you were more critical. What would it take to bring this game up to spec for you?
You'd have to kill the enemies. Plungers, just stunning them kind of, I don't know. It made it challenging, but yeah.
I'll bring this up. Okay, I think I know why they did plungers, because also I think at this time, a Darkwing Duck was, I think, a big cartoon at this time as well.
He had plungers, right?
He had a plunger gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you have to think this takes place all in that same universe as
well. They were trying not to make it violent.
Well, it's Disney too at the time.
Right. Yeah.
John wants Donald Duck out there just murdering people.
Gatling gun and everything.
Just coming up behind him and knifing them.
It was what it was. I mean, it was a Disney game. It had a little bit of a fun, light air to it. it's just not something that you can sink your teeth into. But yeah, I mean, the back and forth thing was a little tedious at times, but the game did improve in the back half. Like it got a little bit more in depth, and it was a little more interesting. The boss fights, the beginning, it was like, Jesus, unless you timed everything right or you knew exactly where stuff was, then, the game was very unforgiving. And like,
that tiger?
Controlling
was
Donald.
pain.
Yeah.
Tiger was hard.
Yeah, getting those fucking bubbles. Donald was not easy to control either.
No, there's sometimes I felt myself where I try to scoot, do his slide, and I couldn't slide.
Or like his run. His run was just not
I
great.
didn't use the run through the whole game.
Yeah.
No, I rarely used it too.
Because it wasn't.
There's like a section in like a volcano where you've got to outrun lava, and I used it there to run up the hill. But that's about it. You just keep getting hit with the lava. Is that what you did?
Yeah, and then the plungers, like trying to time where you stick the plunger and then jump, and it was like you'd stick the plunger and then you couldn't make it to that one again, and it's like
That's actually the one area this game that I think is the biggest letdown was that whole like jumping on plungers as it hit the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted more of that. Like that was just such a cool dynamic that it's like
I thought it'd be cool if
give me more.
Yeah, I thought it'd be cool like if they were to like make a second one, like continued, like make it so it's like a grappling gun, or like you can use it like you shoot it at one end, shoot it at the other end, and you'd use your gun to like go over to the next level,
like
or next area.
It would pull you up or something.
I think some more puzzles associated with like you got to jump on this, grappling this, fling yourself here. I don't know. I just the whole plunger dynamic was really cool. I'm like, I like this. Give me more. And it never really, I think the most that they used the plunger was climb up this wall and get some money bags and then jump back down and go. Like it helped you in situations. I wanted more out of it. It's like, oh man, you guys have a really cool idea here. Run with this more. Like I think a sequel, if they would have run with this, give me more in a sequel.
Right.
You know what? I also would like if they had. I actually like when you had the quack attack. Like it seemed very limited. So that when you eat all the hot peppers,
Yep.
I'd want something like that. Like or have it so like, okay, maybe you gather them, but maybe have it so it becomes like an item. Where like you have to eat you have to eat so many to go into that mode, instead of having to find them, because there's only so many levels you actually have them on.
They don't use them on all of them because you'd run off the edge and die.
Yeah,
so like they kind of limit you on what levels they'll do it on.
There are a lot of drops.
Honestly, like I think a whole level designed around that would be kind of cool. Like what it kind of reminds me of is like, do you guys ever play like the new Super Mario Brothers games where he gets like the giant mushroom and he's just running through, just like smashing shit? There's specific levels designed around that. Like you don't get that power up all the time, but like the level's designed knowing you're going to do that. I'd like to see that. Like give me a whole level that's designed around Donald Duck just going batshit.
Mm-hmm.
It's just this game was filled with good ideas. It's like, give me more of this.
Just needed a little bit more. And I mean, I know why they designed it because I mean, in the cartoons, Donald Duck's always losing his shit over something.
Oh, it's funny.
And it's like one of the best parts. Like he just loses his shit. I would think also maybe have it like, your NPCs were kind of fun that you have through here as well.
Pete.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Pete, or he's a gangster. You go to his hideout ultimately.
The guy that voices Pete on Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. You guys obviously watch that.
Yeah. Definitely.
He's done so much, right? You know the voice I'm talking about. Jim Cummings, and he has done every Jesus. So he's Chef Biscotti in Donald and Curious George.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
He's Winnie the Pooh. He's Razul in
Wait, no, he's
Aladdin.
Winnie the Pooh? He does Pooh Bear's voice?
Mm-hmm.
No shit.
The 2011 Winnie the Pooh.
All right.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, once you become like that level as well, like you get a lot of stuff. I mean, it's a small niche.
569 things he's voice acted in.
That's insane.
And you know what? He probably makes $50,000 a year of that.
I don't know, residuals. Just keep stacking them in.
Right?
I don't know. I mean,
He's Darkwing Duck.
ooh,
There you go.
Yeah.
that's solid. By the way, that you can put your kids onto that and they'll love it.
He's Tigger. He's Winnie and Tigger. This guy has range, man.
I don't know. Yeah, it's funny on these things. Like you get attached to a certain voice actor. You know, there's like certain people that stick around that end up in like so many different roles. It's pretty cool.
Well, also speaking of sounds and just in general voicing, what do you think of the background noise, the music for this?
Meh.
I didn't notice it. To be honest with you, the music was and that, to be fair, that's my fault because I played this on the PSP, so I was kind of doing other things so I really wasn't focused on the music, but it wasn't what I remember of it wasn't. I don't know. It was okay.
It's very Disney. You could tell it was made. It's good, it's solid. It plays like every. I say Disney, but I think when I say it, you guys kind of know what I mean. Like if you could probably, if I say Disney, you're probably like, oh, like the kind of the same way they did, Mickey Mouse and Illusion Castle.
Yeah, it's good. You know, it's
like you'll hear it and you're like, oh, I recognize that from this.
It's nothing on this game. None of the soundtracks on this game to me came anywhere near like DuckTales on the NES, where I just want to do a line of coke and then listen to the moon over and over and over again. But oh my god, this soundtrack's the best. Fucking DuckTales. But that was good.
This is kind of what the series was based. This game was based off. I mean, more of Donald instead of like what DuckTales was, because you do have you have Goofy, but you have Gyro and Gearloose. He was in DuckTales more than he was in anything else.
Huh.
I only recognize him from DuckTales. I guess he was also in some Goofy shorts as well. But I just reckon there. The other big one, you have Shere Khan, which is the tiger at the end.
Oh yeah, he's scary.
Daisy Duck makes one, obviously, but as a princess. Mickey Mouse is in it as well.
Where was Mickey? I don't ever remember seeing Mickey in this.
Where was Mickey?
Did he pop in?
Yeah, he does pop in.
He pops in when you get the plunger gun. Mow them down! Make them bleed!
Oh boy! Oh man! I can't do it anymore, Matt.
Whoa, you're very
lost your training.
Yeah. The octaves are just shrinking.
Well, you know what that means. You have to go back at it.
Yeah. Train my voice.
Oh, we just derailed so bad on this game.
Fucking A.
So this game is made. Looking at a full playthrough, someone does a full playthrough in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Which I think that's probably done if you know the game by heart.
Yep.
Like you just know the game. I think if you just crack it, you're probably looking at 2.5 hours stumbling through if you didn't know anything.
What was your hardest part? Like when you were going through, what part gave you the biggest problem?
Honestly, just because I didn't remember it. The palace, going through the palace, as far as just like
with the doors,
because I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So I stumbled through that. Then that fucking tiger, Shah Khan.
That's
just because it's so much timing and controls. So and plus you have to use the fucking. I used the bubble to get rid of him.
Yep.
I didn't try the popcorn. Did you guys try the popcorn at all?
I never used the popcorn.
I never used it.
Popcorn was great for Dracula.
Oh.
You just shoot it up.
Because you shot it, and it took care of his bat, and then hit him.
Nice.
So you had the spread shot. So yeah, I shotgunned the shit out of Duckula there.
Fuck off, Duckula.
Like, he was Transylvania was probably my quickest level.
I had a lot of problems with the Viking ship because I became stupid. So I kept going in circles when you got on the ship. I was like, how the hell do I get out of this stupid ship? I'd go down the ladder. I'd shoot Pete about 50,000 times. I'd go up the ladder. I'm like, okay, do I need to wipe out all the barrels? never once did it dawn on me that I needed to like go in a hidden door and then, like pass through that, and then you end up in the door and you can beat it, and that's where you fight the Viking ghost and pop him in the head. I must have done that level. I don't know how long it took me to do that stupid Viking ship level because I was too dumb to realize where to go.
I mean, typically, I think you're clearing each level probably within, depending on the level. I mean, Duckburg is you doing in like a couple minutes at most. There, then same with probably Mexico as well. Just literally because all you're doing is just going through, coming back. Actually, I used Mexico as a refill station for the going into the temple and getting popcorn.
Nice.
And then dodging out. So I kept on using as a refill station for that. And then I'll go to Transylvania to get my bubbles.
Yep.
Actually, I'll say something that was annoying in Transylvania is that fucking big ass ghost that spread it off into anything.
Yeah.
Or multiple little ghosts. Because there's
Fuck
no
the
way
ghost.
to. I was like,
can't kill the
I'll
ghost.
shoot him. You can't kill him. Can't do anything.
Womp womp.
No.
So I always get hot because you can't friggin' dodge them at all because they literally like, oh, you just have to kind of dodge. I'm like, there's no fucking dodge them. They go everywhere. They literally just surround you like a friggin' thing of bees and just kick your ass.
And that would be the level to get the chili peppers. Like if they threw chili peppers, because I'd be pissed at the ghosts. Like let me mow down ghosts in a fit of rage.
Yeah, just something.
Yep.
Or it'd be cool like if you could shoot chili peppers. There's something like they came up with some idea how to combat that. Also, the snake charmers were kind of annoying because you couldn't kill them unless you had the popcorn gun.
I don't remember them.
The snake charmer. So the guy walks around with a flute and he has a snake that's on the top of his head. Then when he uses flute, then musical note hits you and paralyzes you, and the snake jumps off and then attacks you.
I never used popcorn, but I got by them. I don't know what I ended up doing.
There were only a couple of them, right?
You can either what?
There are only a couple of them, right?
They're all through the fucking the palace with Shagan. So I mean, you could wait them out and kind of like jump over them, or just take the hit and just run through them and dodge that. But it's just annoying because you couldn't. Like I shot my plunger at him, that didn't do anything. Shot the bubble at him, which usually kills everything. The bubble that didn't do anything. So this again, like I had to use my popcorn, but thing is, it's like, oh, you have 60 shots. Realistically, you have what is it? Because it's 5 shots per shot for the popcorn. So you actually had, so 5 goes into, so you had like 15 shots. I mean, no. 10, 11.
Yeah.
12 shots. 12 shots. So you only had 12 actual shots. So the next thing you know, and those suckers also, as soon as you left left that frame, they regenerated or came back. I'm like, son of a gun. They didn't stay dead. Just sucked. So I said that that level was probably my hardest. Everything else I just kind of breezed through. Yeah. It was so easy to get unnecessary, raise your points up on the game too. Because you have money bags.
Points. I never really. This doesn't seem like a game that score matters to me. It's long.
Hey, it's in the book. It's at the end of the thing. Is to put your score down in your name.
Oh yeah.
It's long enough of a game. It's kind of like Mario. Like, does anyone actually care what your Mario score is? Like,
so there's a person that only gets 1 coin always, if that.
Oh my god! I've been playing the original Mario, and I've been trying to show Charlotte how to do it, and she's like, "Get the coins, get the coins." Like, I get the fucking coins. I have infinite lives. Why would I bother with a coin? But when I sit there and I play with her, it's like, all right, I'll get the coins.
Just like her mama.
Yeah, I know. Get the money. Money.
But, I mean, the game was quick, fun through. Bosses were... I mean, besides Tiger, that was the only boss I had any trouble with. What about you guys?
No, Tiger was a pain in the ass. It took me a little bit to figure out the Viking. We had to shoot him in the head. But beyond that, I think at that point I'd figured it out. And really, it was kind of a breeze for me after that, honestly. I had moments where I was being stupid. I mean, the difficulty as a whole in this game, it really wasn't super hard.
There, no,
we're not the target audience, so I get that. But
yeah, just figuring stuff out. I'd get a run through. I'd save state it and then play and then learn my lesson and then go back if I fucked up that bad.
It was very easy to kind of like adjust accordingly to the game.
Yeah,
because they weren't super long levels.
No.
So you could easily get back to where you were very quickly. And be like, okay, I messed up here. Here's where I jump. I have to jump. So you can figure out the timing very quickly on this game, I thought.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Quickly talk about the ending, where ultimately you go through all this trouble in a sense you find a statue, and that's your gift to Daisy. So ultimately you're trying to find a good gift for Daisy Duck. So Donald goes through all this trouble and she gets pissed at you. She's pretty much chewing out Donald until your nephews come and drop the statue. And out pops a giant necklace with a huge gem on it. And only then does she give you a kiss and put Donald in a state of happiness, as it were, where he's flapping his wings because he got a kiss from his loved Daisy.
Donald is the original beta male. Like he's trying so hard to impress her, and she's just not impressed no matter what he does. And it's like, oh, I found you this statue that I hauled out of a fucking Egyptian mine or something like that. And she's pissed at him. Like, oh, well.
I dug this up. That's a beautiful statue. It looks like you. It's ancient. It's a beautiful work of art. What? It doesn't shine?
It's got a chip in it. Yeah.
Trash it. It's no good. I'll find something at Target then.
Yeah. I feel bad.
I just lost our female audience right there, probably.
Because you call them all gold diggers.
I didn't say. You literally just said it.
I mean, he presents her a statue. No one's ever presented me a statue. If someone got me a statue, I'd be very happy with it. I would put the statue in my office right here.
John, would you be happy?
As long as it was jade and cylindrical.
What about egg-shaped?
I don't know.
You're onto something.
Gwen, do you have an opinion on that, Gwen? Gwen? Are you there, Gwen? Gwyneth.
John, invite her on the next episode. Get her on from Metal Gear Solid.
Okay. Yes. The shit breaks if she says yes. Shit
I want to
bricks.
ask her about her camera, about her candles.
Good Lord. There. Well, all in all, I'm not going to ask for a rating on the game. It's kind of pointless. I'm not afraid. I know your opinions, and we don't need them.
Oh,
never do. Ooh, it still holds special. It still plays well. It still looks gorgeous. The game holds up. I think all in all. Do I hold the same value probably as a kid? No, but it's still a fun game.
John and I are gesturing fives at each other. So
yeah. Whatever. So it was good. I mean, I had fun playing it. It was a good one. Sorry, Matt, to take your spot again.
Well, I was talking about this I think I was telling Nikki, who actually does not give a shit about this show, but I just like to talk to somebody just to hear myself. So it sounds like it's a good idea. I don't think I'm ever going to pick another game other than Metal Gear Solid until that's done. So if we delay it again, I'm just going to keep picking Metal Gear Solid until we get there. So I will not.
I hate to tell you, you're going to have to pick. It's going to be just me and John because I'm going into a time period between 10/15 to December 7th where
Jesus.
time is going to be odd.
No, we can't not pick any game of any substance from now until fucking December.
I'm just saying it's going to be. I think I'm going to take. What I can do is I'm going to have to take those substance games and just play them in the background. So continue playing there. So having short games in between and having the substance games in the background playing.
I've been talking about Metal Gear Solid for 2 years, so I feel like you've had plenty of time to play it.
I did. Next time, Matt, we'll do it next time. So are we going to what do you want to set forth for next episode?
Yes.
Metal Gear Solid.
Yes. Or John will pick something because I will not pick another game until I get that goddamn game off of my list so I can move on. I need closure.
I pick Metal Gear Solid 2.
Play it out of order. Yeah. I have a copy and I've never played Metal Gear Solid 2. That's why I want to beat 1 so bad.
So what you're saying is, if we keep this long, we could prolong it to what might be on your tombstone is, I never finished Metal Gear Solid.
Here lies Matt. His friends stopped him from playing great games.
Nothing like he was a great dad. He was a great husband, loving father. No, his friends were dicks and didn't let him play the games he wanted.
No, I've already got my tombstone picked out, and it's even more ridiculous than that. It's going to be Here Lies Matt. Lady in the Water was a shitty fucking movie. And that's going to be the end of it right there. And everyone's going to know I've bitched about that movie since the dawn of time. So, yes, no, I want Metal Gear Solid. I've got a, we had one episode where we talked about unfulfilled promises, and I had to delete it out because of time. But I really want to start. I've mentioned a lot of games I want to play, and I need to stop adding things onto the list and actually play the games that I've talked about.
That's a long list.
So, yeah. So, Metal Gear Solid is the game I want to play next. And then after that, I want to pick an NES game. I've got them all planned out what I want. It's just, I got to get to it. So, yes.
Metal Gear Solid's next game. We're doing it next episode. Metal Gear Solid. Guys, thank you for hanging in on this episode. It went to complete shit. Matt has a lot of fucking editing to do on this one.
It's all the fault of the Irish. Again, it's all the fucking Irish.
It's always my fault.
There goes Ireland. They're just going to hate us. Do we have any listeners in Ireland? Sorry. Not sorry. Thank you guys for listening. Catch us on our socials. We have a Discord. Please follow us on our Instagram. It got hot. We did get viral, but we got pretty far. We got pretty far on that one post of yours, Matt. You hit something.
I'm in the same boat as you, though. Work has gotten busy, so I've been lazy as shit on social.
It is a busy time for me and you specifically. That time of year for us, where things just gonna be through the roof for us. But Instagram, Spindash Retro, Twitter, Spindash Retro. On both, there should be a link for our Discord, Matt.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or will be. If you don't see it there,
sure.
Just tweet. Just think of this way. You have a way to communicate with John and give him all your complaints. Send him all your naughty gifts if you want to. Do whatever you want. We do actually look for actual feedback. We do want to, develop a community on this. We're 3 adults that enjoy, retro games, dads. This is the only fun of our life that we get anymore. I mean, let's be honest. This is the highlight for us now.
We're literally running a ship towards a midlife crisis. This is the midlife crisis express.
Yeah. It's probably going to end up with Matt buying a console that's over $1,000. Just that'll be his Porsche or his Corvette, as it were.
I'm going to buy a 3DO after shitting on you about it.
Exactly, and you're going to probably mod it.
Yeah,
you probably would. Yep. See.
Yep.
That's how it goes. Again, thank you guys for listening. To next episode, Metal Gear Solid. Maybe.
Yes.
Have a good night.
See ya.